What's up guys, Chris here with another Four Knights of the Apocalypse manga chapter review, and today we are going over chapter 57 and we are actually getting a look at the fourth Knight of the Apocalypse and actually some background and information about them as well as their name. We also get alluded to the fact that this arc in particular may actually end in a very dark tone. Things might not go as expected when all four knights are assembled. We also get more alluding to Xion possibly being a traitor or knowing more than he lets on, etc, etc. And this is essentially like a jam-packed chapter for all things considered. The full 20 pages is honestly has a lot of stuff going on for it, and it really feels like Nakba's setting up for like a big climax for this arc before we get a full-on info dump on everything that we are going to see for the rest of this series. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help. Also, don't forget to check out my Instagram and Twitter to see what else I'm doing outside of making videos, if you just want to interact with me outside of the channel. Now with that out of the way, let's hit that intro and start the video. So chapter 57 of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse, Leonis in Panic, and I like the cover image showing Tristan, Percival, and Lancelot, and the fourth knight with just a big old question mark, teasing us that we are going to get this character pretty soon. But anyway, we start off almost directly from where things went off last week, but this time from Meliodas' perspective as he is returning to the castle, as the guards are saying how the knight had just up and fled, and Meliodas is like, what happens, happens. He even says that he has Lancelot on the case right now, and he's asking how Bartra is doing. So Bartra is still alive, and we see how he's very terribly weak, and he is a bedridden old man. Meliodas comes into his bedroom where Slater is. I'm glad we're getting more characters from the previous series. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I did like Slater when he appeared. I just don't know why. I just think he's a pretty cool character, all things considered. And he has a really cool design. I don't know, it's probably, maybe it's just me. Does anyone else like Slater? I know I'm rambling here. But anyway, it seems that Bartra had been visited by another dream. As we all know, Bartra's magical ability is vision. When he's asleep, when he's dreaming, he can get visions of the future, prophecies that essentially have a 100% chance of occurring. This happened with the 7 deadly sins assembling for the first time, the awakening of the 10 commandments, and the sins reuniting once more, and the Holy War. And so it is confirmed that Meliodas got this prophecy from Bartra, his dream. He dreamt of the four knights of the Apocalypse. That was the dream that brought about the prophecy. And we're going to come back to Bartra by the end of the chapter, as we're brought back to where chapter 56 ended, with Tristan reacting to the fact that the fourth knight just fled after leaving him at the castle. And Lancelot saying how Meliodas literally asked him to help out. And I love that Lancelot just nonchalantly quotes Meliodas saying, "All of you clean up the prince's mess for me." And I like Tristan's reaction as if he's being scolded by his old man or just teased by Meliodas. It just seems like Meliodas all in all. And I like how Xion's trying to state how it's not Tristan's fault, and it's wholly the fourth knight for running away. Honestly, I feel like Lancelot is acting more of the leader of this group, and I'm fine with that. If Lancelot does act more like the strategist of this group, I would be really happy, just with how we've seen from him throughout the story. But anyway, Lancelot states that they have to find him and bring him back before it becomes an international incident. The castle's to the north, so they have to search the east, west, and south gates. Tristan's group is going to go to the west, and Percival's group is going to go to the east. And Lancelot is going to solo it at the south gate. And I like how he calls out on saying, "Got it, bossy lady?" as she just glares away. And he just glares right at Xion as he smiles. But then I like how Lancelot just comes up to Tristan and says, "Tell me what you know about the fourth knight." Gotta pull all the information together. Right before Tristan says this, Xion tries to say that we don't really need the information. Our group is going to catch him first. Now then, Tristan describes the fourth knight, giving the name, Gawein. And to all of those that in the comments of previous videos stating that the fourth knight is most likely or is definitely going to be Gawein, congrats. You get a head pat and a cookie. Here, take a cookie. But anyway, he states that this knight is a tall figure wearing a pure white suit of armor with a gold trim. Now, I'm going to get back to this image as we are going to see Gawein's armor again later in this chapter, and I'll describe it more. and my own thoughts about it. But anyway, say that Gawain has golden magic. and that's all he knows. And I like how the group is just being like, wait, that's it? What else is there? Is this a man or a woman? Tell us. The hair color? What is it? As Tristan just states that even he doesn't know. He doesn't know the gender of the knight. He doesn't know the color or their facial structures or anything else about them. Just the fact that they have golden magic and that they wore that suit of armor the entire way to Leonis. And I like how Lancelot just teases him, calling him a dunce. You can tell these guys are like best friends. I'm really getting a Meliodas and Bond vibe from these two, and it's something that I would expect from their kids. But as Tristan's group is, you know, cheering him on, stating, "Come on, we got this. Let's go catch that stray dog," which is Chion. Again, he's suspicious as all hell. Lancelot looks over at him and just states, "Tristan, what are you hiding from us? Spit it out already." As Tristan seems to be very bad at lying, saying that he told him everything. But then Lancelot just says, "Well then, you want me to say it then?" As Lancelot was just reading Tristan's mind, as he just states for Tristan to spit it out. And it's revealed that Gawain, the fourth knight, is a blood relative of King Arthur, their enemy, to everyone's shock. Wondering what's going on, but notice Chion just his hand to the chin and pondering. No real reaction, nothing of shock like everybody else, that one of the four knights of prophecy is a blood relative to Arthur, their arch nemesis. Now what we can get from this, I'm not entirely sure. And I like how we get a panel of just like everyone just in silence. I like Tristan's reaction to saying this is like, see, now everyone's pale over all of this. This is why I didn't want to say anything. And Lancelot just said that if it's the truth, you should have come out with it to begin with. It'd be worse if it got sprung on us later on. Besides, it's one of the four knights either way, and now they're moving out. Percival and his group are wandering through Leonis, going to try and find this fourth knight. And I like how they bring up the fact that can they trust this knight since he is a relative of King Arthur? And Percival brings up a really good point. His father works for King Arthur, but Percival's not a bad guy, and he still wants to kick him in the butt. But they're still wondering why he would flee. And Nazien just kind of sighs as they all just got to Leonis, and they haven't had a moment's rest since everything has occurred. It's just been one problem after another. And they're even meeting the new knights, and they're even shocked that Lancelot is one of the four knights also. And Nazians brings up Percival's strange transformation and that weird magic and language, but then he stops himself and apologizes for Percival for even bringing it back up. But Percival just waves off saying that he thought that they all died, and he couldn't think about anything. He doesn't remember a thing about what happened, what he said, or what he did. But it was just like when he almost lost to Ironside. His friends pulled him away from that darkness. As he gives the most wholesome and brightest smile ever, saying that he's really happy for them and having all of them together with him. And I like their interactions with this group. I like this group already. This is the main cast aside from the four knights, and I can't wait to see Donnie, On, and Naziens continue with this group. I just love these guys and their interactions. Anyway, they bring up the fact that Lancelot is very arrogant with Tristan. Perhaps Lancelot is a prince of somewhere, and they're just like, yeah, not in a million years. But then On brings up the fact that they need to keep an eye on Chion, as she states that he was telling really big lies. He was aware of everything the entire time when they attacked Percival, and that he knew that he was one of the four knights. And then apparently it starts to rain. Percival then just starts sprinting off, saying that they gotta go find Gawain first. Let's go, Team Percival. Let's show Tristan's band of knights a thing or two. As On tells Percival to stop. And it's not for any other reason but the fact that she's like, wouldn't Team On Galahad be cooler? I like how she's, after all this, she still has a big head and thinks that she's the leader of their group. If anything, Lancelot's more of the leader of their group at this point. But yeah, they're gonna go and start searching. But we then see someone sitting on the bench. The fourth knight sitting on a bench. And I like this just solid panel. Just them being like, phew. It'd be hilarious if this character is literally just a coward or something like that. It'd just be something really cool to think about. Now, we see people walking around in cloaks. And one of them takes it off. He seems perhaps he's a knight of some kind. And he's thinking about getting a bite to eat. But then a girl runs off saying that she can't wait. A midday moon and a drizzle with distant thunder. I've waited so long for this moment. Two potential characters, and I wonder, is this character going to be Guinevere? Or the girl that Lancelot saw a vision of back during the arc where they met Gother in a demon village. And then we get back to Bartra and Meliodas as Bartra tells him this new prophecy. When the moon and distant thunder bless the kingdom, which is what's happening right now, the 4 Knights of Prophecy will assemble. As Meliodas is like, oh, so they'll finally come together. But we get a but, stating that through the work of an assassin of chaos and the blade of a traitor, hope will be snatched away once more, as we see Tristan and his group looking, with Shion's eyes covered by his hair, Lancelot looking over, and Percival's group as the chapter ends. Oh boy, that was a pretty interesting chapter, and I gotta say, that was awesome. I'm just really happy with this chapter, and it's looking like next week we'll finally get the reveal of the fourth Knight's face and their power. Now, Nakba's laying on pretty thick that perhaps Shion is this so-called traitor or assassin of chaos, and perhaps he will kill someone, maybe not one of the 4 Knights, but someone close to them. It's possible it might be Percival, someone in Percival's group, as they're the last group in those 3 panels at the end of the chapter in like a more jovial and happy, pure way. And it would just be a massive tragedy if one of them was killed, and Percival's reaction to that would be devastating. But anyway, let's talk briefly about the 4th Knight, as I do not want this video to be almost 20 minutes long. So let's go right ahead with it. I agree with a lot of people in my comment sections that the 4th Knight may actually have sunshine. I mentioned this in my Mael video on what his role could possibly be, and the possibility that the 4th Knight, Gawain, since they have golden magic, and with the sun literally plated around in different spots of this character's armor, if they have sunshine, it would fit very well with the whole golden magic and the sun imagery for them. And pure white armor, I don't know if it fits that well, but it would be great. It would essentially be like this character who was close to King Arthur, perhaps has obtained the powers and the legacy of Escanor. And Mael will appear in the story and perhaps be the one to train this knight in the use of sunshine. And who knows, maybe Mael was the one that gave sunshine to this character. But that's all up in the air right now. I do think that Gawain is going to be the user of sunshine with the images and the teasing of how this character's golden magic and the sun imagery on the armor. It just fits too well right now, but we won't see what's going on. But with the prophecy and with these 2 new characters being introduced at the end of the chapter, we don't even see the girl's face. We are essentially going to get some kind of tragedy or something to affect the main group. It's just mind-blowing on what the heck is going to happen next. But what are your thoughts and opinions of this chapter? What are your theories? What do you think 4th Knight's power is? Do you agree with the fact that it's sunshine? Do you think that they're a boy or a girl? Because it could go either way, because Nakba does tend to invert characters and stuff like that. It would be okay. Perhaps this character is a tomboy for all we know, or something like that. Leave your thoughts and opinions and your theories down below. I do read the comments and I interact whenever I possibly can, so it would be much appreciated. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really helps, and it will show when I upload next. Also, check out my Patreon and my Ko-fi accounts if you want to support the channel more directly, as I do want to make a lot more videos for you guys. And with all that said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.